Hello everyone, this is Mukunthan Ragavan, and this video we are going to see branches in Git. We are going to see in detail why do we need branches and what are the different hands-on we can do in branches. Branches in Git allow for parallel development. When you have the code repository, there will be a lot of new requirements or there will be a lot of new enhancements. For this, we should not tamper anything on the existing code repo. So for that, we will create a copy in the name of branch, which will have exact same code with the same commit history. And once we create the parallel street, then we will do the development on that. Then later point, we will merge to the main street. In order to do this parallel development, we are creating the branches. Since we have seen so far, locally we are creating the project, we initialize the Git project. When we create the branch, that could be possible in local as well as in remote. What does it mean? Once you clone the project, you create a new branch, but this branch detail would be only available in the local, not in the remote repository. The same way, you go to the remote repository, directly in remote, you create the new branch. Basically, the branch can be created in local as well as in the remote. And after some point of time, we can sync together. So this is about the branches. Why do we need branches? Let's understand, especially on the contributing to the existing project. As per the steps, you clone the repository, you go to the repository, and you will create the new branch rather than working on the main branch. Then we will make the changes, we will stage that, and we will commit. Then last point would be pushing to the remote repository. So this is the main one. You are pushing to the remote repository with the new branch details. Now let's understand further what are the hands-on we can do in this. Now from the basics, how to create a branch, how to switch to that branch, how to list all the branches, especially including local branches as well as the remote branches. And you might come across the terminology called default branch. What is it? And how to fetch the latest branches created in remote after cloning. Imagine you clone the repository today, and after cloning, somebody created the branch as we discussed. Then that branch has to be available in your local. How to do that? Then what is origin? This is the main terminology. We will use it most of the times. So we will see what is origin and how to see the value for that and why it is so important. Let's start one by one. Let's go to my remote repository, which is self-healing Selenium Java. Recently, I cloned that library and you can see here. And the same bash terminal also available here. Now let's maximize. Now the first one, how to create a branch. So before to that, let's see how many branches are already there. Git branch hyphen L. So before going to that, here you can see with the name of project name, you can see there is a bracket and inside that it is mentioned main. So by default, when you clone the project, whichever the branch given to you, that will be called as a default branch. If you go to the remote repository also here, you can see if you go to the branches, see main has been set as default. So based on the different service provider, this terminology or the settings will be in somewhere else, but there will be always a default branch. How do you find it? Whenever you clone from the scratch, whichever the branch given to you, that is called a default branch. In our case, it is the main branch. Now, git branch -l, it will show the local branches what you have. If you want to see the remote branches, when you clone it, whatever the knowledge it has, it will just record it. So based on that, you can see it is the main branch from the origin. We will quickly see what is origin in some time, but as of now, you can see the remote branches main. If we want to see all the things together, A in local main, in remote, remotes slash origin slash main. So basically main branch in remote. Now we have seen what are the branches available. Let's create a new branch. And when you create a new branch here, you are creating the branch in local. And when you create the new branch, whichever the branch you are currently in, that will be considered as the base branch. So from that, you will be creating the new branch, which means whatever you have the commit history in the main branch, as of now, that is the current branch, everything will be given as a history to the new branch as well. For example, let's create the git branch, local branch, enter. Now again, git branch, this is local. So here you can see you have two branches now in local. But if you see the remote, still it is only the main. Let me clear it. Now I want to switch to the local branch. So for that git branch, sorry, git checkout, Somebody will use git switch also. So git checkout, then the new branch name, local branch, enter. Now here you can see local branch has been changed as the current branch. Now just see git log. The last commit in local branch is Saturday, November 25th. But here you can see this branch has been created very recently. We did not make any changes, but it has the commit history because we have this branch from the main branch. We created this branch from the main branch so that it's not only copying the code, but also copying the history of the base branch. In our case, it is the main branch. Now we have seen how to create a branch, how to switch a branch. And we also seen how to list the branches by using the git branch -a, -l, -r. A stands for all the branches, L stands for local branches, R stands for remote branches. What is default branch? Whenever you clone, by default, which branch is given to you, that will be called as a default branch. Now the question is how to fetch latest branches created in remote after cloning. As you see here, this branch has been created already and everything in local. Now, after I cloned this, somebody went to the remote repository and created the new branch. For example, let's go to the all branches and create a new branch. Let's say remote-branch. Here you can see the source is main. Here also I am using the base branches main. Same like local, but here I am creating in remote. Now, if you see, the branches are remote branch. Now, here, if I just type git branch -a, you cannot see the remote branch which has been created very recently. How to get that? Git origin. Now here you can see it is fetching the details from the origin, which is github.com, my project name and self-Selenium, self-Java. Right. So now if you type git branch -a, now here you can see remote branch also will be there. So by this way we can fetch it. Now the question arises, what is origin? Origin is nothing but the location of your remote repository from where you originated your repository. How to see that? Git remote -v. Here you can see this is the value has been given to the origin. Basically HTTPS that enter URL, and whenever you push, whenever you fetch, it will be getting from this origin, which is nothing but our remote project folder location. And if you remember what command we have used, git fetch origin. So you can clearly see I am fetching, yes, from the origin. So origin means I have given the value as my remote repository. Basically, this will be set automatically whenever you create a new project and whenever you push it to the remote repository, or even we can set by manually. Git remote set origin, then you can set the value. But if you are already using the existing project, no need to worry, it will be automatically set. So now git fetch origin will obviously fetch from the given URL. And in given URL, we have created the remote repository called remote branch. So that's the reason it was able to fetch all the remote branches. Okay, now we have seen everything. So in this video, quickly we have seen the branches has been created for parallel development. It's not only copying the code from the base branch, it also copying the history of the branch. And you can create the branches either in local or remote. If you have created the remote branch, you can use the git fetch to fetch all the remote branches, whichever created after cloning. And whenever we implement the new details, new requirements, new feature files, those time we will be using the new branch. So this is all about this video. In later videos, we can see after creating the branches, after we implement our new changes, how to merge it. So this will be the next video. So thanks all. Thanks for watching.